Welcome to Phoenix 76 Tech Talk. So I'm here with Shimon. How are you?
I am very well, thank
So
you.
happy to have you today. So today we're going to talk about, and I'm Erica. Sorry, y'all. So today we're going to talk about the importance of business skills and technology. So before we do that, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, my name is Shimon. I'm a technologist, but sort of with a non-traditional career path, right? So did a business degree in information systems, and I did a master's of science in information systems, and I started my career actually in internal audit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So consulting for a big four consulting firm, and then I did that for about 3 years and then switched to industry. Because I live in New York City, financial services is everywhere, that's the path that I chose. But I've been a career auditor for the past 19 years, and then a year ago I decided to do a leap of faith. So historically always audit, but now I'm in technology.
That's fantastic.
So sort of non-traditional path, but very exciting times ahead for me.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So can you discuss the importance of business skills and technology and how you've leveraged those skills?
Absolutely. So it's great question. I would say it's being able to bridge that gap. So I'm in technology, but if you think about a computer, a system, it's supporting a business. I work for a bank, and understanding the business first and foremost makes it easier for me to understand how the technology fits in. So I think very early on in my career, I realized that I was able to leverage my business degree, but then I've always been curious about technology, but being able to sit in the middle, because what I find is sometimes people know one and not the other, vice versa. Technologists might not always understand the business people don't understand technology. But I would say, as somebody in technology, having that business knowledge makes it easier to do my job.
So do you consider yourself a liaison between business and technology?
Absolutely. With the work that I do today, I would say I'm tasked with helping my bank get through some regulatory challenges, and to do that I need to understand the regulations, I need to understand what the regulators are asking, I need to understand how the business is approaching that, and ultimately how does the technology meet the needs and objectives of the business.
Gotcha.
So absolutely.
Nice. So what do you think are the soft skills? I know they call them human skills now.
Sure.
What are the soft skills that you think are essential in your field?
What I've found is, I think, being open-minded. Things are always changing, and my current organization, I've been there for 9 going on 10 years, and every 2 or 3 years there's always something. There's always a hurdle, there's always a challenge, there's always a task at hand. So I think being open-minded and being open to new things, right, helps a lot. I think having that curiosity to learn more and not take things at the surface level. Being a team player, as cliche as it sounds, I mean, we're a global organization, and I work with people who don't necessarily always look like me, but at the same time, you need to be open and just sort of have that personality where you can roll up your sleeves and get involved. So I think being a team player helps a lot.
Right. And I think when we look at technology, sometimes we just think about the tech. We don't think about those human skills, the ability to communicate, the ability to persuade, all those things, and they're really key to being successful in that career as well.
So a big part of my job is, I'm suffering from Zoom fatigue sometimes. I'm always on Zoom calls with people from different countries, different nationalities, and not necessarily always with people from technology, right? So my technology team, we support the risk organization. So it's very dynamic and very fluid. So I think just being able to adapt to just work in teams and collaborate. So collaboration is key.
So have you encountered any specific challenges as it pertains to being a Black male in the field and leveraging those business skills and working in that space?
Yeah, absolutely. So I live and work in New York City, and as diverse as New York City is, 8 million plus people, I think technology, I go into meetings and I might be the only person of color in the room. Early on in my career, I had an unfortunate situation where I was an intern, went for an interview. I had a pretty high GPA at the time, and the person on the other side, when I walked in, the lady looked at my resume, she looked at me, looked at my resume, she's like, "Oh, I think you have the wrong interview." But I didn't, and it actually went to another person in my class who looked very different from me, right, in terms of ethnicity and background. So I think there is a lot of bias that we sometimes face and a lot of challenges, but how I've sort of carved my way is it hasn't deterred me or discouraged me. I think focus on education, focus on showing up, and then using myself as an example to break down those stereotypes, those barriers. Sometimes people have negative perceptions of people of color because they don't know, right? They see what they see on TV or anything negative and it sticks with them. But I would say it's there, and whether it's obvious or not, but what helps is you have to be the best at what you do, right? And at least strive for that. You might not always ace every test or be perfect, but if you have that attitude, you will succeed. It's never easy. I've always found that I've never been able to get exactly what I want when I want, but just having that perseverance and that persistence, things do happen.
And having that community.
Absolutely.
Having that community of individuals that look like you.
Absolutely.
And having representation of those that look like you from a support perspective.
Absolutely.
Well, Shimon, I think that what is a key thing that you'd want our viewers to walk away with? Because this is a tech talk, but we're talking about a non-tech type of subject. So, are there any key thoughts? If you were to say one or two key things that you'd want our viewers to walk away with?
Yeah, I would say, I have found in my career, people reach out and, okay, it was great working with you. Would you mind being my mentor? So I've mentored people unofficially, and what I realized looking back over the years is that people have reached out to me because I look like them, and they're also a minority, so we're minorities, and they look at my examples and it's qualities that they would like to embody. So I would say to anyone, get a mentor, right? Have somebody doing a role or in a field that you're interested in, or you're already in that field, and then have those discussions. I would say also stay curious, put your hand up, ask questions, focus on sort of the knowledge, the training, the education. I think that's also very, very important. And then I think organizations like ITSMF, if you have the opportunity, if your company is going to sponsor it, even if they might not sponsor it, I think if you invest in yourself, I think the dividends, it's tenfold, right? I think ITSMF, the community that we have, seeing other Black professionals in technology, it's inspiring. It's motivational. That people who would have started this program not really knowing, people sort of second guess themselves. Am I good enough? I don't know. And that's because sometimes in their environments, there are people who aren't looking out for them. There are people who are not mentoring them or taking the time. But what we have here, it's a family, it's a community. We don't only show up for each other academically or on these weekly calls, but outside of that, people have developed genuine friendships, right? So it is a family, it is a community. So I think it's a great place to start and to sort of develop your skills as a leader for future success.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I also think that there are many organizations for our viewers out there besides ITSMF and others that you might join. Even if you are in high school or college, there are other opportunities and organizations that you can join to find a community that looks like you and building that sense of belonging. Shimon, thank you so much.
Excellent.
It was a pleasure to speak with
awesome.
you today.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. Until the next time.